Hi, my name is David Siegel. I've made about 5 videos on tennis elbow, and they were all wrong. I've suffered from tennis elbow several times over the last 10 years, and I finally cracked the code and can help you fix your tennis elbow. I'm going to sell it to you in this video with a money-back guarantee. So I want to teach you a lot about what it is, what it isn't, and give you an opportunity to work with me to get rid of your tennis elbow in 1 or 2 days to get rid of the pain. So first of all, what is tennis elbow? Tennis elbow is a repetitive stress injury involving a grip and usually some kind of repetitive action like a hammering, twisting. If you imagine working in the garden all day or hammering nails, or not so much playing tennis anymore. And it's only for people 50 years old or over. It's very rare because it isn't really an injury. The injury is fairly common. What happens to us people over 50 is that it's a failure to heal. It's a failure for these small muscles here that control little movements in the hand to heal properly after they've been torn, after there has been some tearing of the tendons. So the way to diagnose tennis elbow, you may have heard this, it's pretty simple. You put your hand out, you try to raise your middle finger and block it. And if that blocking hurts, then you have tennis elbow. Another way to do it is to put your hand down like this, and if raising your hand against something hurts, then you have tennis elbow. Other elbow pain, if this does not elicit it, is not tennis elbow. You may have other elbow pain. Tennis elbow is typically felt right here in the tendons at this little bone. There's kind of a bump right here at the base of the elbow, and this is where the pain is. And it's these tiny muscles that move your hand, and you can feel them, and it's for raising. It's for raising. So when you put your hand down, they don't activate, and when you put your hand up, they will activate, and you'll feel them shorten right here. So this is the place, if this is where you have pain and you haven't had surgery and you haven't had an MRI that says it's torn, I want you to understand a little bit more what it is. These are called micro tears across the axis, across the length of this tendon. You'll have tiny tears. You know, the way sort of like a glacier breaks off as it falls across, and goes down. The tiny micro tears going this way, so that as you then activate the muscle, it really hurts. And it's not an inflammatory injury. So icing and cold will not help. If you go to tenniselbowschool.com, there's a guy there who helps people, but I don't think he gets it right either. He talks about using heat, and I don't think you can get enough heat into the tendon to get the blood moving there, because it really is about healing. So there's 2 aspects to this I want you to separate. The first is the pain. The second is the healing. The healing will probably take months, no matter what. You need to get blood there into the tendon, and it needs to do its healing magic, and it won't happen within a week or 2. It will take months. And this is why people get a lot of injections, because it can help temporarily, but no matter what you inject there, it typically does not solve the problem. It just gives you some pain relief for some period of time while the problem persists. So let's start with the pain. You know, if you have it, that it's very painful, and that the pain can happen even when you're not using your elbow. So when your elbow's down by your side, or when you sleep. And this is a big clue. It's just like plantar fasciitis. While you sleep and you're completely at rest, you can wake up with an achy elbow and have a bad elbow day that day, and you think, well, this is some kind of inflammation, it's sore all day. But it's actually, and this is difficult because most injuries aren't like this, it's actually just it's tightening up all by itself. So the elbow, or so the tendon, which has these micro tears, is tightening, and that's causing the pain. And what relieves the pain, just like with plantar fasciitis, what relieves the pain is stretching. So the two things we do to stretch this muscle are we do some applied physical force, and there are many ways to do this. Some people use, a spoon, or some kind of a dowel, or the handle of a butter knife. People say. I have found that the best way, it's called pin and stretch. You may have heard that, and it's just to hold your elbow very strongly at the tendon and then go down as you pull up. And so you're stretching that tendon. It may help to have some cream or a little massage oil here. And then as you go down, you're putting a lot of force here, and you're trying to stretch that tendon out. So this is all about stretching. You're not trying to massage or put pressure. That doesn't matter. What matters is you're elongating that tendon head this way. And then there are other types of stretches that you may have seen. This was one of them. To turn, stretch like this, and so forth. The stretching is the key to relieving the pain. It's not going to heal. It's going to relieve the pain. And if you work with me, I'll show you particular stretches that will help you get out of the pain trap. And then the second thing is you have to let it heal. Now, while it's healing, a lot of physical therapy people say you should use a TheraBand, or you should use a little weight. I don't have any weights with me, but you should do this kind of exercise. And I don't believe that helps at all. It's not going to heal, and it's not going to stretch. And those are the only two things that matter. It's not going to really give blood flow where it needs to go. It's just going to aggravate the injury. So I believe that these kinds of exercises are great for building up those muscles when they're healthy to prevent future tennis elbow injury. But when you have it, I don't think they're going to get you out of the hole. So when you're at equilibrium and you've healed already, or if you don't have tennis elbow, if you have friends who don't have tennis elbow, tell them to start doing these exercises so they help prevent tennis elbow, sure, but they're not going to get you out of the hole. They're not going to help with getting blood flow enough to heal. So what I want you to do, instead of exercises, I want you to just think about stretching, that's pain management, and about giving it time. So you've got to sleep right. You've got to not let it shrink up by itself. Say a good example is when I'm sitting at my desk and I'm typing. That often makes it worse. Often at the end of a couple of hours of typing, I will be sore. So these are the kinds of things you have to not do because you're setting yourself back. So anytime you have a bad pain during the day where you go, oh, my tennis elbow, whatever it is, whatever caused that, you're re-tearing those microfracture boundaries that are trying to heal, and you've just torn them back. So whatever you did healing in the last 24 hours, you've just undone that by causing pain. So you have to stay away from the pain, and that promotes healing. As long as you're not in pain, you're healing. And if you can do that for 6 to 8, might take 10 or 12 weeks, you'll be fully cured. In the meantime, you need to stay away from the pain 100%. 100% pain-free. Any pain is taking you in the wrong direction. Now, there's more to it. There are a few things I haven't told you. I haven't told you exactly how the stretch works, and I haven't told you how to get the blood flowing inside the tendon. And that's because I want to work with you personally to make sure you get the right solution. And I'm going to charge you $300 for about a 1-hour session that will include a follow-up PDF. And if you want, I can email you the video file of our conversation. And then I will guarantee your satisfaction. Whether it works or not, if you tell me you're not satisfied, I will send you your $300 back. In fact, if you pay me by PayPal and you use the e-commerce option to say you've bought an online service, and they take like $10 out because they're going to back you up and give you a money back guarantee. So I only get $290. I'm going to send you $300 back if you're not happy, because I'm so confident that I can help you make your pain vanish within 24 hours and keep it away. It won't be perfect. It's a skill. You're going to develop your skill in managing the pain. So it could take a few weeks until you really have it worked out. There are special ways of sleeping and going about your day. But I believe that after 2 weeks, you'll say, wow, I can manage my pain and my tennis elbow is healing. And for that, I'm happy to pay $300. And then you tell me if you're happy, and you give me a testimonial, or you say, I'm not satisfied. It just wasn't what I was expecting, and I want my money back. No problem. That's a satisfaction guarantee, whether it works or not. You have to be satisfied. So I hope that gives you enough confidence to book a time to talk to me. We'll just get going. You pay, we'll schedule an hour, and we'll do it, and we'll get rid of your tennis elbow starting right now.